Um, welcome, Tuesday night training. I'm so excited. If you guys wouldn't mind just like muting while we go through this, and then you can unmute at the end because I'm hoping to have time for like Q&A. Do you know how to do that, Julia?
I found it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Before we dive in, we're talking all about like rocking Instagram stories. But before we dive into that, I want to do some extra recognition. I like to start these calls with people who've earned Success Club for the month already. So I know I just did like a full shout out Success Club board in our team group with everyone who has any points on the board. But I wanted to just give like a special shout out to myself. Thank you for having Success Club 10. Thank you very much. Emily for having Success Club 6, but actually 8 because Cody has some points. Shelby, who's not on here, but she's a newer coach and she has Success Club 6. Oh my God, I just choked. Did you guys just see that? I was like, oh. I don't know what happened there. But she has Success Club 6. So that's everyone who's already achieved it, but we still have this week to crush out Success Club. So there are plenty of you who already have points on the board. So just hustle, make it happen to get at least 5. Hopefully you get 10 because that's really exciting and we can recognize you in our monthly Success Club board. And yeah, so I wanted to start with that. But does anybody, real quick before I dive into the content, have any other shout outs they want to recognize people for?
Verbal shout out to Dominique for already signing a coach, even though she's only been with us for like a week and a half.
I know.
Like that, so. Yes, Christy.
So exciting, everyone. I know you're killing it, Dominique, and that is awesome, Christy. Oh my God. So exciting. Emerald in the house. Okay, so tonight we're talking about Instagram stories, like I said. So let me make some space here for my notes. There we go. Okay. I've done like that huge Instagram AF training, and I'm sure most of you have seen it. And I did touch on stories like at the end of it. But, and if you haven't seen it, let myself or your coach know and we can tag you in it or just send you the link. But I felt like I didn't really give stories the time that they needed, probably because I knew that they could just be their own training. Like it was kind of hard. I think that training was already over like an hour, and then I had gotten to like speaking for an hour and I was like, oh wait, let's talk about stories real quick. But just to kind of recap, I talked about how like the importance of being on stories. I talked about how they really show the real you and a behind the scenes look of your real life. And that's why people go to your stories. They want to get to know you more. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, don't ever feel like you're oversharing on stories. Don't ever feel like, I don't know, you're talking about coaching too much or you're talking about your challenge groups too much, because people are going to your stories to learn more. They're going there because they really want to get to know you more. They want to know more about why you do what you do. So when I did the last training, I also talked about how you can show your vital behaviors on your stories really easily and just kind of take people through your day. I talked about inviting on your stories because I think that is so, so powerful when you get on there and you actually like talk and do like an invite on your stories. I do them every day, like multiple times a day. I don't know if anyone follows me, you've probably seen, like I will invite to coaching and my challenge group in the same day on stories. I talked about geotagging your stories. What's up, girlfriend? Are you jealous? My cat's like, who are you talking to? You can come up here. Come on. Okay. You good? Can you sit down? Okay. Oh, which brings me to a really funny thing I'm going to talk about at the end, but since we're talking about, well, since it's here, people love to see pets on your stories. But it's also rated as one of the most annoying things to see on stories. So it was rated as one of the most like popular things, but also one of the most annoying things. And that definitely comes down to moderation. Like if someone's every single story, like showing their pet, I can kind of see that. Like, and I don't mean like multiple stories of your pets, because let's be real, like my cats are in a lot of my stories, but I just mean like that's the only thing you're sharing, and it just like you're not sharing anything else. Okay, I'm gonna get to some more of those like fun, popular, least popular things at the end. If you missed my last training, when you geotag all of your stories, you do this see-through geotag. I'm tapping like I'm on a phone. So you type in Boston, Massachusetts, even though you're not really there. Who cares? Maybe your dream girls live there. I don't know. Maybe your dream girls live in Alaska. You can tag Alaska even if you're not there. And then you tap it once, twice. I don't know. I think it's twice. No, I think it's once now. Make it super small. Put it somewhere where no one's going to see it. And no one does see it if you make it super small and it's a see-through one. So I talked about that last time. I also talked about like bringing your branding into your stories. So like using your branding colors, the only colors that I like ever use on my stories are purple, pink, and white, unless I run out of those. But for the most part, you will only see those colors on my stories because they're my branding colors. So I basically bring in my brand of my entire page into my stories because that's part of my page too, right? And that just allows people to feel like it's more consistent. It allows people to have that feeling of order and like everything makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like as humans, we like that feeling of like, oh, this totally makes sense. Okay, so let's get into some new stuff. Guidelines. People ask me all the time, how many times should I post on my Instagram? How many times should I post on stories every day? These aren't like hard rules. They're not do or die. Oh my God, if you don't follow them one day, the world is going to end. But because so many people want a guideline to aim for, and I totally understand because when stories first came out, I was like so stubborn to hop on them and I was like terrified of them. I'm like, what do I do? What do I say? Oh my God, I have to talk. I don't know if I can talk. I need to take like 3 shots of Energize, AKA 3 scoops, and then I'll talk. And I think it would have been helpful to have someone be like, okay, Crystal, here's how many you should aim for. And then I kind of, through my head, in my head, I could have been like, oh, well, I'll post my workout. I'll post my morning ritual. And then I could have seen, okay, that's X amount of stories. This is easy peasy. I got this. Okay, so long story short, we post 1 to twice, 1 or 2 times a day as a regular post. Your regular Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I mean, Facebook's a little different. You can kind of post all day and no one really cares. But Instagram, I would suggest regular post 1 to 2 times a day. Stories, the guideline I'm going to give you is 8 to 10 times a day. You're welcome to go crazy and do more. I know a lot of people do, but I would say at least 8 to 10 times a day. And that gets really easy. And I think you're going to see that as we go through this training, that all these ideas are going to pop in your head of what you can share. So that's nothing crazy or anything. So an example would be like taking people through the different parts of your day. So maybe you show what you do first thing in the morning, whether that's drinking a full glass of water, and you can hop on there. You can do like a quick tip of like why it's important to drink water first thing before you have maybe coffee or before you have anything, before you eat, like just have a full glass of water. So you can do a couple things that you do in the morning. Like I show my morning ritual. You can then roll into maybe a workout, a couple workout clips, and then you show a couple midday things where we're at. We're like at 6 stories already, and you're only into the afternoon. Like, so it's pretty easy to get 8 stories, and then you kind of like wrap up your day with something. Maybe you show something personal, like with your significant other, or maybe you do put like a story up of your pet, or maybe you ask a question on there. I'm all about interaction on stories because one, I want my page to be a community. I don't want it to be the Crystal show. Like, yeah, people come there to follow Crystal. That's why it's my page. But I don't want it to just be all about me. Like, I want to get to know my audience, and that helps to make it a community feel when I'm asking questions consistently, like on my stories. I just got super confused when the screen moved. I was like, oh my God. Another guideline, talk at least once a day on your stories. So don't just hide behind photos or boomerangs. Get on there and talk once a day. And there are so many reasons why you'd want to do this. One, it allows people to get to know you so much faster. Like, I can't even talk about the most, like, how powerful video actually is and the impact that it has. Like, I was talking to Josh, it was a while ago, and I'm sure some of you have heard the story, but Josh was saying, like, how long has it taken some of your followers to gain your trust? And this is kind of like, I mean, stories are relatively new when you think about the history of Instagram. When did they come out? Like last year or something? So he was asking me, like, how long did it take for some of your audience to like actually trust you and join you? And I was like 3 to 4 years. And he's like, I could hop on a video chat, do like a live presentation, a live webinar, talk for only an hour, and those people love me. Those people already trust me. They want to join whatever I'm offering. And that's just like the power of video. It's not the power of Josh. It's the power of video. Like anyone can do that. Anyone can have that impact. You just have to be willing to try it out. Because trust me, like when I first got on those stories and I started talking, it was awkward AF. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe. Oh my God, what do I do? So practice, that's how you actually get better at it. So yeah, I would just kind of keep in mind, talk on there once a day. And there are so many different things you can talk about. Like I said, you can do an invite to maybe your next challenge group or to coaching or whatever and talk. I think talking is the most effective way to do invites. So that's an idea, but you can also ask questions, like I said, or you could hop on there and tell a story, or you can expand on whatever it is you just posted for your real post. So maybe you just want to go a little bit more in depth for those people who really want to get to know you. Like you're basically giving them special attention because they're giving you special attention by going to your stories every day. Do a poll or ask a question every other day. I personally do it pretty much every day. And we're going to get to those, why you want to do that in a second, beyond getting to know your people. So yeah. Oh my God, thank God she just moved. I'm like sweating. She was just like lying on me and I'm like, oh my God, you gotta go, girlfriend. She's gone. She gone. So yeah, do a poll, ask a question every other day. Most importantly, stories. Be silly, be raw, be the real you. Don't be afraid to hop on there with no makeup. That's why people don't want to feel like it's the highlight reel. Like, I think that's the most powerful thing about stories and why people love them so much is that they feel like they're in your life with you. Like, when you're taking them through your day, it literally makes them feel like, hey, I'm there. Like, and I think that's why stories are literally, like, where social media is going. Like, now they're on Facebook. Not to say that regular posting is going to be gone, but I just think that so many people are drawn to the stories because they're just sick of highlight reels. Like they're sick of people just getting dolled up to take a photo. Like they want to see the real you. They want to see the girl who just like woke up, hair is crazy, doesn't have makeup on, like whatever, the hot mess you, if you will. They want to hear stories about how like your kid just pooped in the bathtub. Like for real, they want to hear stories like that. So just be real, raw. You. Okay. Your vibe. What you put out is what you're going to get in return. We all know this. So you want to sign challengers, you better be on your stories daily talking about your workouts and talking about your meal plan and showing your Shakeology. Like, you don't have to be a robot about it. But if you're trying to help people, you have to walk the talk. You can't just like invite people to do something and they don't even see you do it. And that's not about being perfect because, right, real life, we want to be raw. We want to talk about the slip-ups. We want to talk about the days where maybe like we decide to eat a full cake instead of do that workout. But for the most of the time, if you want people to join you in your challenge groups, you have to be showing that. You have to be walking the talk. Another part of that is showing results. So make sure, like, if you're in a challenge group, whether it's your group or not, to always just, like, see what other people are posting in there. And maybe you could even screenshot one of them and just hide the person's name and say, this is what I have going on in my challenge group. Like, isn't this awesome? This person said that, like, the daily support and accountability has allowed them to finally stick to their workouts or finally drink a gallon of water a day, like whatever it is. Like, just be sharing those results because like people crave community. So if like they see that that's what your challenge groups are all about, which is what they are all about, they're going to want to join. So keep that in mind. You like show results, and you can always like team up with other people in our tribe if you want to show like before and afters. Make them have FOMO. Oh my God. I literally have that written on my desk. Make them a FOMO. It's like a daily reminder. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So if you ever want to show like a before and after, but you're a newer coach or whatever, and maybe you haven't gotten a ton of testimonials because you haven't even run a challenge group yet or whatever, I'm going to say 2 things to that. Run a free group ASAP, because you can get testimonials in a week and you can share those. It's a week long, so they're not going to be like jaw-dropping before and afters, like someone lost 100 pounds in a week. That's not a thing. But you're still going to get like testimonials where you can say, hey, this girl like released those 3 pounds that she had like couldn't get rid of. She had been stuck in a plateau. She released the 3 pounds, but on top of that, she just feels like she has a better handle for her nutrition. She doesn't feel like food is like running her life anymore. Things like that. Like you can help people in a week to get those kind of results. So that would be my suggestion. If you don't have any testimonials to share, run a free group like ASAP. Like maybe you kick it off start of October. Is that next Monday? I think that's next Monday. None of us know, because we never know what the day is. We never know what the month is, and we never know what the year is. Also, the second thing I was going to, or what time zone, never know what time zone. The most thing I type into Google, what time is it in, I don't know, Florida right now? Like just always typing that in. Like Canada is what gets me. I'm like, I don't know what time these are, like anywhere. Okay, the second thing that's taking forever for me to spit out is you can always ask people within our tribe if you can share their before and after. You could do a tradesies. That sounds super weird. But you can say like, hey girl, I'd love to give you a shout out like on my page and show what our groups are actually doing, like how they're transforming lives. Can I use your before and after? You're welcome to use mine in return. Or if you don't have like a crazy before and after, like actual physical photo, which I didn't forever, like I only had like 5-10 pounds to lose when I signed up as a coach. So like it didn't happen in like my first month. Like some people get results in their first month and then they have before and after to share. I didn't have that. So I just focused more on like the mental aspect, like how I was changing inside. So that's something you can do. Team up with some other girls on our team and share your transformations. Like you can share them on your own page. They can share them on their page. Okay. So if you want to sign challengers, that's a recipe. If you want to sign coaches, same thing. You have to be talking about the business. You have to be talking about what we do. Sharing things like this would be a great thing to share. Or talking about when you're sitting down to do your power hour. So one of the things I hear from coaches a lot is like, how do I actually sign business builders? Like I don't have an issue of like signing coaches. Like I can sign coaches, but how do I sign coaches who actually want to like link arms with me and do this thing with me? Like take this to the top. You have to be showing that you're doing the work. Like if you're not showing the sacrifices you're making, like you're never going to you're never going to sign up a better coach than you. Do you know what I mean? But also people don't know what you're doing if you're not showing it to them. So if you're not showing the sacrifices you're making of maybe waking up an hour earlier so that you can work your power hour, you're not going to sign up people who are willing to make sacrifices. You're just going to sign up people who want the fluff. Like, and I mean, I love our community and everything, but like, if you actually want to build a business, you have to be disciplined, which means like you have to show people you're disciplined. So showing your power hour, talking about the business, talking about why you do this. I think the why is so key, especially when it comes to stories, because like I said, people really want to get to know more about you. So they want to know the why. Why are you coaching? Why are you doing this? Like they really want to know what the deal is. So you can talk about that. You can share other coaches' stories. So, and you can share different types. So for example, like I'm not a mom. So sometimes I will share stories from moms on our team. Like Leah Hutchins, I always love to show, I'm like so annoying. I like text her every day and I'm like, can you send me that video clip with you and your 2 daughters when they were doing yoga with you? That's really awesome. Like every day. But I'm not a mom. So like other moms, like if they follow me, that's relatable. Like if I show Leah and I'm like, hey, this is like a mom. She's doing this too. Like you don't have to just be like a single girl like me who just is a cat mom. Like, I mean, cats are hard, but I know they're not like real kids. So you can share other coaches' stories. Last week, I don't even remember who was on the National Wake Up Call. I think it was just some some girl I didn't know, which is cool that it was someone I didn't know. After she shared her story, because it was kind of similar to mine, like she had like an eating disorder and she became a coach, and the community just allowed her to get healthy for real, all of that. I like that pulled at my heartstrings because that's like part of my story. So I hopped on my Instagram stories and I talked about it. I said, oh my God, we just got off of this awesome training call that we do every single week. I'm not just sharing her story. Like I went on to share her story, but what was the subliminal message there? When you sign up as a coach, you get training, you get support. You're not on your own. That was like the underlying message they also got. So share like when you're doing trainings like this, or go on there and talk about if we did a training, talk about what you learned. Because another thing people love to see on your stories is something that's educational. So if you hop on there and you talk about a couple of things that you maybe just learned from a time management training or something like that, like even if it was a Beachbody training, you can hop on there and one, talk about coaching, but two, offer value by teaching them something. Well, was I gonna say anything else? I don't think so. I think that was that. Anyways, what you put out is what you get in return. So if you're trying to find more coaches, that's the recipe. Oh yeah. Okay, if you want to be the person that your people go to for daily inspiration, like you want to be that go-to where like if they're in a funk or it's the beginning of their day and they just want some daily inspo, you want to be that person, you need to show up like that. Like you need to share maybe daily what you're learning from your personal development. Because what is that? That's inspiration. That's going to help them too. Maybe you get on there and you talk about like an insight you had during your workout. I don't know why our best thoughts happen during our workouts, but like you can hop on your stories after and like talk about a lesson you literally just like learned in your head during your workout. It was probably because of the Energize. I don't know. But you can hop on there and like share that inspiration, and then people know like, hey, this is the girl I go to for inspiration. Like this is the person I go to when I need someone to lift me up, or I want someone to start my day with on a positive note. Like how cool is that if you become that person that you're the first person in the morning when they want that positivity or that inspiration, they go to you. Like how awesome is that? That feels so amazing to be that person, to be that light, right? Okay, did I say everything there? Yeah. Show PD. Okay, cool. Okay, so highlights. I can't remember if these were around last time I did the training. I don't know. The highlights on your page. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm like drawing it, you know? These are just some examples of to start if you don't have highlights yet or you don't have these ones yet. One for results, so that from here going forward, every testimonial you share, every before and after you share, it goes into basically a virtual notebook of people you've helped. How cool is that? Like, so if someone gets real creepy on you, like they're creeping you hard, they go to your page, they look at your highlights, they're like, oh my God, she has changed hundreds of lives. Like, look at that. I just keep going. Oh my gosh. Like, cool, right? A coaching one. Mine's called EEFFF Tribe. You can call yours whatever you want. You can call it coaching. You can call it, I don't know. I literally have no other ideas besides coaching and EEFFF Tribe. Coach life. You can have one for your daily life, which I have one of those, and it's just random things, like things that allow people, like if they were to click on that highlight, they would get to know me even more. So maybe they missed some of those really hilarious stories I've shared because I'm so funny, guys. I am so funny. They can go to that highlight and they can be like, oh my God, Crystal's so funny. Which is what they do. And then they're like, I want to join her team because I just want to hear her jokes. No. And then separate from that, if you want to have your own like fitness, wellness one, whatever you want to call it, so that you can, whatever, maybe you totally killed it in those burpees and you want to save that one. You can have like a fitness wellness one. And then another idea is to maybe have like a personal development mindset one, or mine's called Inspo. You can call it whatever floats your boat. But somewhere, because that's part of what we do, but it's also part of you. Like all of us are here not just to get physical or fitness results, wellness results, and not just to build a business, but I like to think all of us are here to become better people, like, and to improve our mindsets, like just be a better all around person in the world. So that might be a cool one to save on there as like a personal development mindset one. Okay, so that's all with the vibes. Now we're going to talk about value and fun. And yes, those two go together. Okay, value. Give people a reason to want to watch your stories every day. And I think Katarina might have posted this in Team Movement today. Sometimes I think people overcomplicate what value means. It doesn't necessarily mean you're typing out this really, really long recipe, although that's one of my examples as value, but it doesn't mean it's anything crazy. Like you're teaching them how to have a full moon bubble bath. Like, although that's a great idea. I don't know, Kasha, if you've ever done that, that's a great idea. But sometimes giving people value and a reason to come to your page is as simple as being that positive light, or it is as simple as just like going on there and teaching them something you just learned in your personal development. So you don't have to overcomplicate it. Here are some more ideas. You can share like a quick recipe. I don't know if I'd really suggest doing like a long recipe on stories, but maybe a quick like, this is how I made this salad dressing that only has 4 ingredients, like easy peasy, here you go. Meal planning is actually one of the most popular things that people look for in stories, so you could show that. I think it's also a thing that people don't, like they have no idea how to do. For so long, I had no idea how to meal plan or meal prep for that matter. So you can show that, and that would be offering value, but it's also something you probably do anyway, so it's not like you're going out of your way to like create this thing. You're just sharing it when you're doing it. Workouts, grocery hauls. I already talked about personal development takeaways, quick wellness tips, kind of like the one I talked about, why you would want water first thing in the morning, or you could talk about like why self-care is important, whatever, you can talk about anything. But give people like a reason to want to go to your page every day. And then with this, have fun. Like stories are meant to be fun. I think in general, like social media is fun. I think it's so awesome that we get to like build these businesses and we just like post on social media. Like everyone's doing that anyway. Like everyone's taking selfies anyway. You might as well get paid to do it. So like I just think always infuse everything you do, not just social media, but everything in your business. Infuse it with fun, because like the universe responds to playfulness. Like just show up and have fun. Like be silly on your stories. Like talk about stupid stuff. Like if you mess up your words, like don't start the video over. Just be like, words are hard. And that's what you're gonna do. Okay, we already talked about people are there to be behind the scenes with you. Exactly. Oh, this is a fun one. Share an ongoing story. It's confusing when they're called stories, but I'm talking about story, like a book. So share an ongoing story. So you start it today. I'll give an example that I have coming up. So I'm going to Tulsa next month to speak at that event you girls, I think I've told you about. So what I could do is I could make that an ongoing story. I think I've talked about it on my stories already. Oh, it's so confusing. I could make that an ongoing story. I've talked about it on my stories before. But okay, so they know I'm going to Tulsa. As we lead up to it, I keep talking about it. So it's an ongoing story. They know what's happening. They feel like they're a part of my life. Gosh, they feel like they're going with me at this point. And then when I get to Tulsa, I take them on the journey with me. I'm like, hey, we're in Tulsa, like Oklahoma, yeah, I love it. And then maybe I make Emily like video me while I'm doing my speech, and like they think they're there. But like people do business with people they know, like, and trust. How do you get people to fall in love with you? 1, you're authentic. 2, you share your life. And that's how you get, like, people get to trust you, is they feel like they're my best friend. Like, because they've been watching my stories. We've been hanging out every day. We are best friends. Like, so that's how, like, you can get crazy momentum and blow up your team, as like, by just sharing you, being the real you. You can't fake authenticity. So just be on your stories and just be you, because there are people out there who need you. Like, there are people out there who are just like you, and no one's ever offered them a way to change their life. Like, they need you, like you. All you. And your people, I can't, like, they won't be my people. Your people are your people. Like, Kasha's people won't be my people. Emily's people won't be my people. Like, you have your own people. Lots of hand movements. You have to do the hand movements. Okay. Grow your business with stories. Oh, did I just say this? Okay, stories are where people fall in love with you. I kind of just said this. Oh, I just said that. Okay, sorry. I jumped ahead. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. Okay, show your excitement. So don't hold back. Like, what is this? Like, why would we hold back excitement or passion or whatever? So, like, when you get on your stories, if you're stoked about day one of your program, don't dim it down because, you know, people are, like, listening. Like, tone it up. Like, just be excited, show your passion. Like, energy is contagious. So the energy that you show up with in your social media is like what you're going to get back. Like, if you want people to be excited about what you're doing, like, you have to, like, live in that excitement and show them how excited you are. Talk every day about what you do. Already kind of said that. Oh yeah. Okay. So here we go. Everyone who watches your stories, you invite them. Like, everyone who's creeping, you invite them to a challenge group, to coaching. You invite every single one of them. And then you go invite their mom, their grandma. No, I'm just kidding. But if they're watching your stories, like I said, they're creeping on you. They want to know more. They obviously are interested in something you do. So it's not weird to throw out the invite. Like, and it's not like a cold invite because they feel like they know you. They literally feel like you guys have been, like, best friends since childhood. So yeah, invite them. And then I was talking about doing polls every other day. So when I do polls, they're intentional. So I take that poll list and then I invite them either that same day or the next day. So just make sure stories only stay around for 24 hours. So if you don't get to it within the 24 hours, you want to screenshot, like, the people who voted. Okay, so yesterday I asked, what did I ask? I did two. So I actually had two invite lists. I did one shoots and ladders. I did one that was like, my yoga flow was about core. It was about, like, toning your abs, strengthening your core. So I asked, like, some of you might have seen this. I might just be like, this is the second time you're hearing it. I asked, do you like to strengthen your core too? Yes or no? But obviously I made those, like, way more fun. Like, I was like, heck yes! No, I hate abs. Like, what? 2 people said that. I'm like, what? So I don't know, I think I had 40 people say, yes, I want to strengthen my core too. So I was like, oh, hey girl, have you considered joining my wellness studio? What? Have you? And then that's literally, like, all I said. Okay, if you want the real message, it was like, oh my God, girl, I'm so excited that you are working on strengthening your core too, or that that's a goal of yours too. Have you ever considered joining my wellness studio? And that was it. It was, like, short and sweet. People got back to me, oh yeah, I totally have, like, I love you, but I have a personal trainer. So then what do? I actually send them videos. So I love doing just personal videos in the DM. So I sit there, I record it, and I'm like, oh my God, girl, tell me more about that. Like, tell me about your personal trainer. And then what do? I'm like, does your personal trainer give you a meal plan? Does your personal trainer give you different exercises? Meaning, do you get yoga? Do you get Pilates? Do you get HIIT? Do you get lifting? Does your personal trainer also give you daily support accountability? Does your personal trainer give you, like, a Fit Tribe to plug into? Literally, that's what I said. And then I was like, I think I said something else. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. But those polls, like, they're very intentional. Sometimes I'm doing them just to get to know my audience. But 80% of the time I'm doing them and they're turning into invites. And that's, like, a great way to blow up your business. It's also a super easy way to up your invites. Like, what? Like, boom. And they're natural. Like, they just voted, yes, I want abs. And you're like, oh, good. I have exactly what you need then. So it makes sense, right? It would almost be rude if you didn't invite them after they were like, I want abs. Like, they're literally telling you, like, please help me. Okay. Another way to grow your business through stories is actually going to your dream girls, the current people that you want to work with, going to their stories and commenting on them. Because when you comment on them, what does it do? You slide in their DMs and then they're like, oh, hey, there's that really annoying Crystal girl again, but she's super funny. So I'm going to see what she has to say. And then there you go. But like every time you comment on them, like don't just do it once, consistently do it, because then you just keep sliding in their DMs and they just keep it. They're just like, Crystal's here again. Like at some point they have to join me. Duh. I mean, if they want it to end, they have to join me. I'm just kidding. I have like an extra tip. So you guys know like the collections feature on your page of your Instagram where you can save different folders. This is like I'm not organized. I feel like Emily should be saying this. This is an organization tip that will help you. You can make a folder of your dream girls, like the people you currently want on your team or you want in your challenge group. Make a folder called whatever, dream girls. You don't have to call it that. You can call it whatever you want. It's just easier, and then you can save. You can only save posts, like you can't save a page. So you save one of their posts to this folder, and then it just makes your power hour so much easier because it's just, you don't get distracted when you hop on Instagram. You just go straight to that folder and you say, okay, here are my people right now that I'm focusing on building a relationship with or that I'm inviting. That was just like a side tip that recently, probably during a workout, it came to me and I was like, oh, best idea ever. Let me know if that was unclear how to do that. Oh, I have more. Okay. Oh, someone asked in our team group what to even share on social media. So my original Instagram, are you taking a selfie? I love it. My original Instagram training, I had you come up with your 3 to 5 pillars on your social media, like what you want your whole page to be about. So obviously those are something that you'll share consistently. But like I said, you can also share personal development takeaways. You can share what you're doing in your business. So you could make a regular post, not just in stories, but a regular post saying, oh my God, like today's day 1 of my wellness studio. I'm so flippin' excited. And you can talk about it a little bit. If you want to flip it around and make it like a value post and not just like a hard invite post, you can even flip it around and talk about, like, make it motivation. Flip it around and be like, the only way to change your life is to change something you do daily. Yeah, I don't know. Is that my only example? Yeah. Okay. Engagement posts are another thing that you can share on social media. So like asking a question or doing something relatable, I feel like is a good engagement post. Like yesterday I did a post talking about how I was in a funk. I explained why I was in a funk. I talked about how I got out of the funk. And then I asked people, how do you get out of the funk? So that would be like an engagement type of post. And then I talked about making posts that are like relatable and funny. If you're funny, like I am, I'm just kidding. Own that. Like if you're funny in any way, even if it's a weird funny, those are the best kind of funnies. Like put that in your social media because guys, people love funny. What's your favorite type of movie? Mine's comedy because it just makes you feel good. Okay, then I was going to tell you these. Popular things, topics that people look for when they're going on stories. Meal prep. Fashion. Motivation or like a pep talk. Something funny. I own that one. Just kidding. Tell a story. Like, gosh darn, that kid pooped in the tub again. Reoccurring characters. Like, so you're the main character of the movie on your, no, TV show sounds better. That makes a little more sense. TV show on your social media, but maybe your significant other is like in the background. And every couple of days, they just like hop on your stories. Like people will start to be like, oh my God, like where is Cody? Like where's your man? Like where is he at? Like, and they look forward to seeing them and like what you guys are doing together. That's also super relatable. Like when you show how you interact in your relationship, like that's, people are like, oh, that's really cool. Like, cause that's so relatable as humans. Like when you see people interacting in a relationship or you see a family or whatever, like that's just something relatable. Oh yeah, this one's for you, Emily. People love organization. They love it if you're going to give them some organization tips or like show them how you stay organized. Workout ideas, nutrition tips. I'm so glad that's popular because we own that. family and pets, like I already said, those were also on the annoying list. So just moderation, self-awareness. Productivity hacks, if you have like time management hacks, or if you're one of those crafty people who it's just like, you have all these things at home that allow you to be more productive. Like you have these things you've set up, like these systems, like people want to know how to make their life easier. Like those are almost like lifestyle tips too. Different spaces and vacation. So those are kind of two different things, but people love to see vacation. So if you go on a vacation, take them with you because they'll feel like they're in the Bahamas with you. Like that's cool. Or a sunrise or a sunset, something like that. Like we all love to see that, right? I think that's just something as humans we're drawn to. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. I wish I was there in real life, but the phone's it's fine. This is still good. It's like I'm there. Different spaces I wanted to touch on, because people actually like to see the different areas in your home. So if you always just go to the same corner in your house to do your stories, it literally seems like you're not a real person. Do you just live in that corner? Is that it? So people, and I've noticed this, anytime like I think about social media and like how to be the best on social media, how to be the most effective, I think about human nature. And whenever I'm watching someone's stories, I'll use Andrew Crowder as an example. Like whenever I'm watching someone's stories and they're in some place of their house or in their yard or in their neighborhood I've never seen, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like looking in the background. And I'm like, where are you? This is so cool. And I don't know why, but people love to just see like different spaces. So it's just like a little side tip to make your stories more interesting. Like maybe just don't sit in the same corner every single day to go on your stories and talk. Walk around, maybe, it's not like you have to do like a house tour. I mean, you can if you want, but like walk around while you talk, or just like go sit somewhere else when you talk. My cat's like sitting on our scale. I don't know. Which is weird. The scale's only in the hallway because it doesn't have batteries. But anyway, she's just like sitting on the scale. It just looks funny. Like that would be a dumb story to share. Like, so you don't need to share things like that. That would be dumb. Okay, homework. So you have some homework. What time is it? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to your current story game. Take everything into account. Take consistency, take variety, like do you post different things? Are you being the real you? Are you actually doing stories? Like take everything into account and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Obviously 10 means you're just killing it. You probably should have done this training and not me. 1 means you need to start showing up. Tomorrow you have a challenge of doing 8 to 10 stories. I'm going to find you all and I'm going to look. I'm watching. So creepy. And you can even post in our FIPLess tribe and like share how it's going, or if you get halfway through the day and you need some ideas on what to share, like feel free to post in our group and get some ideas, but share with us how it goes. I think a lot of you will find that like you have plenty to share. And then I wrote down team up challenge. Hold on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to open it up. I just got to do something real quick.
Okay, so I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So as a new coach, I'm just starting to pretty much establish myself. So I feel that it's been really challenging to like invite people as coaches to learn more when I myself have just started, and I feel like I kind of have to develop my story first before I can really say, oh my gosh, you need to do this, because it's been amazing when I've only been doing it for a week. So like what's some pointers on how to kind of go about that?
Yeah, I definitely think like share your excitement and how much fun you're having in a week. Like you can talk about that, because sometimes I think the beginning of the journey is the most relatable and the most interesting. Like people don't necessarily want to hear the person who's already the millionaire in their business. Like, they want to watch you like go through it, and they want to be a part of that with you. So I don't think you should discount like being a new coach as a reason why you can't invite them. I just think like share your excitement, share why you joined, and then also make a list of all the things you love about coaching or how you've benefited so far from it. And then you have an entire list of like things you can talk about on your social media and reasons why you'd want someone to be a part of this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then as far as the free challenges go, what do new coaches typically start with for, the challenge?
Yeah. We have an outline for like a 7-day one. It's Love Your Total Body, and that's in our FitBliss Tribe files. But honestly, I would only make a 3 to 5 day challenge if I were you. 7 days is kind of too long. Like, people just have major ADD nowadays. And I also think if you are passionate about self-love, you can totally use that template. But I also think sometimes it's really cool to think outside the box and think about what you personally are good at. So like, for example, I have a friend who's like bomb at meal prep. So she does like a 3-day meal prep free challenge, and she like teaches them all about it. She shows them how to do it, and she also gives them like some recipes that are really good for meal prep because they make multiple meals out of it. So think about maybe something you're personally really good at or that you're really passionate about, and you can make a free challenge around that.
Okay. Yeah, I know Emily and I have talked about, because I do the Miracle Morning as well, and kind of doing something along the lines of that maybe, because that really got the ball rolling for me and wanting to kind of take better care of myself.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially because I feel like people are always either trying to wake up earlier or they're trying to find some sort of like routine in the morning rather than just like wake up, pour coffee in their mouth, run to work.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, you could also just like take pieces of the Miracle Morning too. Like maybe like you just focus on like the affirmations part of it or the personal development part of it. Like maybe you just focus on one thing for those 5 days. If you don't want to do like all of it.
Yeah, because I mean, it's definitely a process.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll have to brainstorm more about that.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think it would be something cool to share too on social media, like talk about it in our stories about how you're helping people create like a morning routine.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Let us know if we can help or if you have any questions or anything too.
I'll be hitting you up.
Love it. Okay, so I think I gave up on my team up challenge because it's like, I'm just going to do it later. It's coming, okay? So if anyone has any other questions or comments or anything, feel free to speak.
Something that I thought of just going back to like the beginning, Crystal, when you were talking about like sharing like what we do every day, like that shows people you're being consistent too. Cause like we post on social, like we might post on Instagram, but we're not going to post a workout photo every single day. But if you share it every day on your stories, people are going to actually see you doing the stuff. So when you share a transformation, they're gonna be like, oh, I saw what she did. I could do that. So it's another way for people to see you being consistent. And like, you can also use it as like a sense of accountability for yourself. Mm-hmm. So, like I've done this if I'm like struggling on like with my nutrition or something, like I'll go on and talk about that. And they'll be like, I'm going to show you everything I'm going to eat today or everything I'm going to eat this week or something like that. And people love seeing food. So like, that's an easy one. And then it holds me accountable too, because I have to show everybody what I'm eating that day. Yeah. So you can use it for accountability, or I used it this week to get up at 5:30.
Yeah.
Or anything like that too.
Yeah. I think it's an awesome layer of accountability. Yeah. I was just thinking of something and I forgot.
Oh, another question. Sorry. So talking about the highlights, where do you get the backgrounds, like the different designs for the backgrounds to kind of add some style to it?
I make mine, it's called a design kit.
Okay.
I think Emily might have shared that like somewhere a week ago. That's where I make mine, or you can make them on Canva, or you can make them with like Rana Designs.
Okay.
Yeah, there are definitely some options. I would just like do it all at once. Like I would just, or whatever your background's going to be, maybe like save it so that if you do make new highlights, you still have like a matching background.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll check those out.
Yeah.
Can I add something to that highlights thing?
No. I'm just kidding. Yes.
Going to anyway. So I discovered, I shared this with a couple people on here already, that you can add the cover to your highlights without adding it to your story and like having it be part of your story, because that's sometimes annoying.
Yeah.
So let me look at it real quick. You go, like you add like one or two things to a new story and title it. And then when you go to the story on your page and swipe up, there's a little tool button in the corner, like a little wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can press, wait, where is it? I'm going to say a pro tip. That doesn't work. Hold on. I suck. 1 second. Oh. More, no. You click on it, and then you press the more button
Mm-hmm.
right here. Edit highlight, and then edit cover.
Okay. And then you can upload?
And then you can upload from there, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And it doesn't have it, like, it doesn't have it in the story. It's just the cover.
Okay, got it. You so fancy. Thank you. Does someone else have a question?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about, I feel like with some of the workout plans, mainly actually I felt like I was getting into a rut with actually like the Lift 4 program. A lot of the moves start to get kind of repetitive after a while. And I don't know if it was just like me feeling repetitive because I'm the one doing it, but I started to feel like, like the workout stories that I'm sharing, I feel like it's like the same moves like over and over again. Like, I don't know if that's like, do you think that's even something people are noticing? Like, would you try to like switch it up and throw in something else in there if it's not like particular, like specific to the program that you're even doing, just so that it's like something a little different for people to watch? Like, I started to get self-conscious about that.
I felt like that. I don't know if it was hammer and chisel or something. I have thought that before, but I've learned that no one notices. Like, no, because it's so far apart. Like, it's a week later. Like, no one's really remembering exactly what you did, like what exercises you did for chest. Also, like, there's typically more than like just 3 or 4 exercises. So like you can show like different ones every other week. So I don't think anyone notices really.
Yeah. And you'll have new people every week too that are going to watch it if you're like consistently adding. So those new people are going to want to see it. And something I just thought of too, like, not that you should be concerned about it, but like if it's really bothering you that much, you could talk about something different on each one. So say if you do the same chest move one week, maybe next week talk about how you did it last week and you upped your weights, or why you really like this move or something like that. You can mix it up that way. Then it's not the same story.
True. I like that. Thank you.
Something I didn't say that I thought of is questions you get or common myths or something. You can like debunk them on your stories, like go on there and talk about them. Like, I'll just give an example. A common question when it comes to coaching is like, how long does it actually take? Like, do I have to be a coach, do I have to work like 8 hours a day? So like I might hop on my stories one day and I might say like, hey, I've got this question a few times, so I figured if a couple of you had it, probably more of you have it. So I just wanted to answer like how long it actually takes to be a coach. And then I'll tell my story. I'll be like, when I first started coaching, I was a full-time student. I also had a full-time job. So I was crazy busy. I didn't just have 8 hours sitting around. So I actually also subconsciously busted another myth there. Like, can I do this full time? Like, can I do this if I have other things going on in my life? So like, I'll say, to get back to the actual myth I was debunking, I'll say like, so I just started building my business like in just 2 hours a day. And I'll say now I do it full time. So I probably spend more like 3, sometimes 4 hours a day, but that's because this is a full-time job. So yeah, like debunking myths you hear all the time, or ones that you thought before you joined, like that's a great idea. What's a good
Or
fit?
objections.
Objections
that you get, like if people tell you, oh, I can't work out from home, then you like share a story, or they're like, I don't have time for coaching, and you go on and be like, I did my business in an hour today. What?
Yeah, objections, that's an awesome one. Or like, people think, they have to work out for hours a day to get results. Like you hop on there and you say, workout done in like 30 minutes. What?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what have you been doing? What did you do for the last half an hour?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Any other questions or anything? What?
I have a technical question.
Yeah.
May not be like answerable. And I'm also in a hotel, and the Wi-Fi, I have to keep logging into it every. But earlier when I tried to sign in, it wouldn't let me, or it said like host already in a meeting. Has anybody ever gotten that error before?
Was it this one or was it the work one, the Power Hour one? Because that'll happen.
I'm pretty sure it was this one, but because I clicked on it again, and obviously it worked whatever time I signed on, like 15 minutes ago.
Okay. I don't know. I've only ever had it happen like if I'm accidentally clicking on the wrong one.
Or if you're in the other meeting room.
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe I clicked on. I did have a Zoom right before this for like nutrition school. So maybe I wasn't signed out of that one.
Maybe, yeah, because you can't be in 2 like at once. So maybe that's what it was.
Okay. Somebody said.
Oh, it happened to you too.
Yeah. So if you clicked on the Power Hour one, if somebody was on this one already, then there can't be like 2 meetings going at one time because they're both under Crystal.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if you clicked onto the Power Hour one, it would tell you, oh, your host has another meeting. Everybody's on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask because I'd never had it happen before, and I was like mid-workout and like dying, and I was like, I can't figure this out.
What's happening?
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there are no other questions or comments or anything,
we're not leaving without a boom.
We can do a boom now.
Y'all can ask your questions if you got them, but
we can now do a boom because this is why we all come together anyway. It's just for the boom.
And y'all can post it on your stories and say Tuesday night team call night. I love my tribe or something like that. You don't have to say those exact words.
Kasha, are you being sneaky and already taking one?
I wasn't ready for that. All of you.
All right.
The dog.
Oh God, this computer is so big. I can't get us all in it. Are you taking one? Tell me when you're
Somebody count.
That one was hilarious. Okay.
Fine. Okay.
Go ahead and count, Crystal.
I think we're all in it. Okay, I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I like the dog licking the face.
Oh,
yep. Oh.
Can I do it one more time? I had it angled down. Like, I just barely got our heads in it. It's mostly my floor.
I guess that's acceptable.
Okay, one more time. And I'm going to hold it up higher, I think. Okay, I think I got it. Are we all in it? Yeah. God, I need just like a professional boomerang to take all of this for us. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, really, where's Cam?
Oh my God, it's even worse.
What? I cheers my salad to you guys in that one.
Oh my god, it's fine. I don't do this for a living or anything. This is not what I do. It's fine. It's fine. I'll repost yours. It's fine. Just forget about it. I need to go to like boomerang school or something. Instead of being like the 4 that time, I don't know, apparently I got too excited and I went. And then like it went off. It was like the wall. Anyways, okay. Where's Kino? Seriously, where's Cam when you get him? Dude needs to get home. Take my booms. Okay, ladies. Well, thank you for hopping on. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys have fun with your stories. Keep me posted. Let me know what you rate yourself, and then let me know how it goes with doing 8 to 10 tomorrow. And yeah, just have fun with it. So, I love you, and I'll see you guys later, probably on social. Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.